So while Americans can't afford their groceries, the gas prices are making it where shrimp farmers in Texas are going away, while farmers in the Midwest have a 62% bankruptcy rate, while the fascist white supremacist is bombing Iran, starting a war, closing off the port of Hormuz while he murdered 170 schoolgirls in an Iranian school. Dana White and Donald Trump said, you know what? While everybody's suffering, let's do something really stupid. Let's put a cage on the lawn of the White House and have a UFC fight. It's going to cost Dana White and UFC about $30 million. But it's for the veterans. Sure it is. And they're selling VIP tickets for $1.5 million. So once he sells over 20, Dana White has just made money. But it's not even that. This is free marketing for a private company on our property. That's what this is. You want to know what kind of little boy that Dana White is? Watch this interview. It screams toxic masculinity.
Change. I don't care how powerful a woman is, what she does. Women want to be taken care of, treated right, and they want to feel safe. That's nature, and it's a man's job to do all that. As I get deeper into this, you'll realize how toxic my masculinity is, but it's like, I hate this whole men's mental health bullshit that they talk about.
Dana White, you're the same guy that smacked your wife in her face on video in Mexico twice with your open hand. That was you, right? You're a great role model to young men, especially your kids. Way to go. And when you say on your interview that I don't give a fuck, yeah, you do. You do care. Because mediocre white men like you with micro penises, that's all you do is care about your fragile little ego. You spend your whole miserable life living in your privilege with your toxic masculinity, and you wave your little bullshit flags and bald eagles and nationalism and God bless America and guns, and it makes you feel your goosebumps get goosebumps. You go, oh, I'm so manly, I'm so strong. Ooh, watch men that are half naked punch each other. Ooh, look at all the white men with 6 teeth watching it. Ooh, I don't want to make them mad. And then you said you've known Donald Trump for 25 years? You mean the man that owes a woman $80 million for sexually abusing her in a dressing room? That guy, that's your friend? The guy that's had 24 women with dates and incidences where he sexually assaulted them? Those? Where he was sued by 13-year-old Katie Johnson? Right now, he is actively protecting child molesters. He's such a miserable piece of shit like you, Dana White, that he can't even keep his wedding vows. That's your guy, huh? This is the guy that you're simping for, that you're licking his balls for, licking his boots, kissing his ass, saying, yes, daddy, can I please have my little fight and have a bunch of half-naked men be toxic masculinity on the 250th anniversary of our country? We are being played. Dana White and Donald Trump are the epitome of toxic masculinity. 98% of gun violence are men. The vast majority, white men. Why do you think that is? Dana, just curious, why do you think that is? Because whiny little bitches like you run around saying, don't show your emotions, be a real man, push your emotions down, push your emotions down. You know what happens? It's like Old Faithful. It builds up, and it builds up, and it builds up, and it explodes, and you have gun shootings, and you have people that fight, and you have things like January 6th. By the way, I've never heard you say a damn thing about that, Dana White. Because the man that the adjudicated rapist that you're friends with, because you're such a family man, such a great example to your children, the man lied so many times that 5 officers died. Yeah, back to blew my ass. Back to blew my ass, Dana White. You're no different than every other white man that licks the boots of Donald Trump. You do it for power and notoriety so you can get marketing and make money. And you don't want to say anything because the vast majority of your base are 6-teeth white trash MAGA supporters, and you know it. And you're too much of a goddamn coward because you're making money. Money. You don't give a shit about the 250-year anniversary of this country. You want to talk about history? Let's do it, Dana. I'll tell you what. Let's get on a podcast and talk about what you say is the greatness of America. Let's talk about how slavery was legal, how black people were lynched in trees, how the founding fathers owned hundreds of slaves, how they tore out the uteruses, how we saw black people and 1.3 million died. How black people couldn't vote till the 1960s. Let's have that conversation, but you don't want to, do you, Dana? Because you want to put your head up your ass and the ass of your orange daddy over there and say, we're the best, because freedom. Canada has freedom. Greenland has freedom. Germany has freedom. Norway has freedom. Sweden has freedom. Holland has freedom. UK has freedom. Lots of places have freedom, dumbass. You just want to own a gun because it makes you feel like a real man. And it's fascinating, as I research this topic, how many of these MMA fighters and UFC files have a higher increased, more than the NFL, of domestic violence. Gee, I wonder why that is. Who knew that a bunch of angry, pissed off guys whose entire job is violence would be abusive to their spouses and their girlfriends, just like you did? Fascinating, huh, Dana? But you know, you don't give an F because you're a real man. This is what this is. This entire year, you're going to see people like Dana White and Trump and the alcoholic Pete Hegseth. By the way, speaking of Pete Hegseth, since we're talking about this is the same Pete Hegseth that's on his third marriage, cheated on every wife, got drunk on stripper poles on stage, had a daughter out of wedlock because he was such a miserable piece of shit, Dana White, because I'm sure you guys are probably friends too, because you guys really have a lot in common. You disrespect women. Had a daughter out of wedlock. Then he paid a woman $50,000 to pay off a sexual allegation. But you know, family values, right? Go share that with your kids. Why don't you go tell your kids, Dana White, why Donald Trump owes E.G. Carroll $80 million and explain to them what he did to her in a dressing room. I bet you won't do that because you're going to shield it from your kids. You're exactly what's wrong with this country. You don't want men to have basic feelings. My dad was just like you. Insecure little boy. His dad didn't love him. His mom breastfed him too long. There's a wide range of reasons little boys turn out like you. But there's this constant desire that you always have to win. This is why I don't even have debates with MAGA. Because you don't care. You think anything less than winning means that you're less of a man. And that's a damn shame. People like you have ruined generations of young men, and people like that racist podcaster that says empathy is weakness, and it's rich. That so many little mediocre white men like you run around and say God and Jesus and God and Jesus and God and Jesus. The dude literally was like crying for people and showed empathy and compassion and had feelings for people. It's ironic that little white boys like you mocked the mayor who was crying at the coffin of George Floyd. He's fucking dead. And your thing is, oh, don't be a sissy man, be a real man, suppress your feelings, and then go get in a fight and punch somebody in the face. That's what alpha males do. It's a joke. It's a joke. You people have no emotional maturity at all. You're like talking to third graders, and everything is fight. You're just ruining your kid's life. There's more to life than winning. And maybe one day, if you pull your head out of your ass, you can actually see that, Dana. But I don't think you will, because you're addicted to half-naked men fighting in a ring. You're addicted to the notoriety, the money, the pictures, the photos, the interviews. You say you don't care. You care a lot. You think about it. You dream about it. You need it. You're like a drug addict. You need adoration because something inside of you is emotionally immature, and that's what this bullshit is on our lawn. While people are suffering, this is the shit you're doing. I don't hear nothing from you, Dana White, about the people that can't afford their gas. All you care about is putting your little shitty ring up there and saying, ooh, watch these half-naked men file and be alpha males with bald eagles and flags. Yeah, woohoo, America first. It's a disgrace. It's an utter disgrace that this is being put up when people can't even pay their goddamn bills. But this is what Trump is. He's a con man. He's an absolute con man. And he is robbing us left and right in front of our faces. And people like Dana White and people like the Republican parties and all the rich people that are supporting him, I blame them more than Donald Trump. Just like Hitler and Benito Mussolini didn't do what they did in an echo chamber, they had people that supported them, that enabled them, that kept them in power. And people like him do exactly this. They kiss his ass because they want to be in power and they're afraid to stand up. I don't know, Dana. Maybe just some random guy in the backyard that actually has empathy and gives a shit about people and doesn't support a rapist, and speaks out against men like you that smack their wives in their face, yeah, maybe, just maybe, I have a more moral compass than you. But have yourself a white day, Dana. You keep telling yourself that you're an alpha male. That's really cute.